All right, shalom, fam, shalom. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Please put a one in the chat. I want to just make sure my audio and everything is working. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. All right, so I have a preliminary tonight with someone by the name of Eytan, and I'm going to send him the StreamYard link right now. But what we are going to do is set up a debate, a future debate. But first, we got to figure out what are we going to talk about. What is the main subject that we will be debating for or against? So I'll be sending him this right now. He should be watching, and he should be getting the link now. All right, I sent it to him. But yeah, I don't know too much about Eytan. But that's what we're here for tonight. We're going to figure out his belief systems, where he stands, I guess, concerning whatever topic we plan on talking about. I'm assuming it's going to deal with the Bible. I'm assuming it's going to deal with history, archaeology, biology, things of that nature. But we'll see what's going to happen here in a few minutes. But just going to wait on him to get here. Sent him the link. But any questions y'all have or any debate topics y'all think we should debate? I see that there's a few people in the chat. Shalom to you, Dunamis. Hello, shalom, shalom. Good to see you. I'm assuming it's not going to be a long video. It honestly should take at least 30 minutes to kind of set this up. Longest is an hour. But yeah, this shouldn't be a long video. Shari actually did this perhaps about a week ago. She was setting up a debate with an atheist concerning where they're trying to figure out a debate centered around the Bible, science, and the origin of it all. And that didn't go anywhere. The guy cursed twice. And as y'all know, on this channel, we do not curse, use foul language. This is a clean channel. This is a channel for people of all ages. So to you, Eytan, when you come on the panel, when you come on the show, do not curse. We do not curse. We do not use foul language. We do not use personal attacks, racial attacks, things of that nature. So try to keep it clean. But yeah, Shari basically did this about a week ago, and that went nowhere. And we'll see where this goes, though. We might be able to do something. He is not getting the link. Eytan, can you here's what we'll do, Eytan. I'll put the link in the chat, in the side chat over here. Nobody else click this link except for Eytan. Here it is right here. I'll pin it at the top. There's the link. No one else push that link except Eytan or Yap Gang members. So if anybody on Yap wants to click it, they can. But that is mainly for Eytan. Um, but yeah, so like I was saying, Shari's debate kind of went nowhere, but we'll see where this one goes. Hopefully, we can find a topic, find a date. Um, I guess I'll go over some of the things that we were talking about. He wanted to have this debate on Vocab Malone's channel, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if Vocab Malone would accept that, but when he gets on panel, we'll talk about where we can have this debate, who can host it. I personally think the debate should be on a Berean TV, where the debate between Dr. Brown and Gorilla Hebrew was hosted. But like I said, we'll figure all this out here in a second. Or it could be on Genesis 49ers or on the Yap channel. But I'll just wait and see until he gets on here. But by the way, Eytan, if you hold on, let me text him real quick. Ask him, is he watching the show? Are you watching the show? Because if he's not, then he's not gonna get the link. I put it in the side chat. Come to the show. All right, I texted him. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I sent him the link via the social media app that we are currently talking on, but the link apparently didn't work, and he's not watching the show right now. So I'm trying to get him to YouTube so he can then see the link that I put in there. Sean, do you see is the link there? Well, while we wait on that, I'll do this. Tell me if y'all can hear this. I'm gonna have the volume down a little low so it doesn't overpower my voice. Just have the audio play a little bit in the background there while I try to figure this out. The link is there? Okay, awesome. All right, so we're just gonna wait on him. Come to the show so you can get the link. It's posted in the show. All right, so now we wait. We wait and we see if he's coming. And so, like I said, I don't know if this guy is like BHI, like a Black Hebrew Israelite, or if he's MENA population, Middle Eastern North Africa. Like I don't know if he's Amazigh or Coptic or Jewish or whatever. I, I didn't quite get. I got both vibes, so I'm trying to figure this out. All right, so we got him. Let me turn down the music, unless the music isn't bothering him. I mean, by the way, everybody, put a 1 in the chat if the music is overpowering and distractive, or put a 2 in the chat if the music is fine and if y'all are okay with it. Because I don't want the music to overpower our discussion here. Because I think the music is good. Give me a second. Let me look on my other screen to see how loud the music is. I don't want that to be too loud. Give me a quick second here. Let's see. Oh wait, y'all can't even hear the music because it's not even connected on the thing. This whole time I thought y'all was hearing it. All right, now y'all should be able to kind of hear it. Is that too loud, everyone? One for too loud, two for the background music is fine. All right, we can get started. All right, let's get started. We're wasting about 10 minutes. So, Eytan, that is your name, right, Eytan?
Ken, shalom. אתה
All right.
מדבר עברית? אתה מדבר עברית?
Wait, hold on. Let me move this from the. All right, there we go. All right, shalom, shalom. Welcome to the Yak Scholarship Channel. How are you?
אתה מדבר עברית?
You said what about Ivrit? About
Do you,
Hebrew?
do
What
you
did you
speak
say?
Hebrew? אתה מדבר עברית?
Just a little bit, but not a lot.
Okay, we'll do it in English then. Shalom, how's it going?
No, it's going good, man. It's going good. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Hope you are blessed. Yeah, should I introduce myself? I don't know how you guys do it around these parts.
Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Okay, Eytan, Baruk. My name is Eytan. Nimo, nice to meet you. Uh, my family is from multiple tribes of Israel. My mother's grandfather is from Issachar. My mother's mother is from Ephraim. My dad is from Yehuda, and my mother's family is from Gary, Indiana. Back in the day when the steel mills were still pumping outside of East Chicago. My dad's family is from New York, Jamaican Queens. Both grew up in abject poverty, like a lot of Jews that grew up in America. I use the term Jews anachronistically because obviously I'm not referring that all Jews come from Judah. Uh, I don't think anyone would argue that everyone who calls themselves a Jew nowadays in Eretz Israel, in the land of Israel, or in America would claim that they all come from the tribe of Judah, but rather that they are descendants from people in the Bible. And I'm a believer in Yeshua, HaMashiach, Manazaret, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Uh, I don't know much else to say. I reached out to the brother in humanity because I noticed some problems in his approach to teaching who the Israelites were. I have a degree in anthropology with emphasis in biblical archaeology, so I thought it'd be fun to dialogue. And I hope you all are blessed in the name of Yeshua. We're not saved by skin tone, we're saved by the grace and favor of the Almighty El Elyon.
All right, all right, all right. Amen to that. So, everybody already knows me. You know, Ivri, the Hebrew of Israel. So I'm not going to go into a whole long diatribe for my background. I think everybody pretty much knows who I am that watches the channel. So without further ado, what do you want to debate about? What is the main contention here? Let's figure this out. Let's find a good debate topic. And once we find a good debate topic, we can find a host for the debate,
Okay.
moderator, and
Okay.
judges and things of that nature. So let's get
Yes.
in.
Okay. I reached out and I originally said the physical description of Hebrews. But if that's too vague, I guess we can narrow it down further. Um, because obviously, anyone who knows anything about biblical history knows that. I know there's this thing amongst the cult, the Black Hebrew Israelite cult, whatever denomination that you come from, but they like to claim that intermarriage uh, or that endogamy, like marrying outside of your culture, never happened. And so that's too, and that's obviously not biblical fact. I mean, Jacob married. Who did Jacob marry? Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, and Bilhah. Who were Rachel, Leah, Zilpah, Bilhah's father? Do you know?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes. Who was Rachel, Leah's father?
You talking about Laban?
Yes, yes. Okay, so those were Arameans, and we know in the Tanakh also it says of what about Abraham. I was a wandering Aramean, essentially, is what it says in the Tanakh. So if
Excuse me,
the
did you say Iranian?
Aramean, like from Aram,
Aran, and
Aram,
Iranian.
Aram in English, Aram, Aram, or I don't
So
know how.
you're saying Aramaean.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
what the Bible verse says in the Tanakh. It says, "Your father was a wandering Aramean," and there's multiple verses where Aramaic is used, like when Yaakov, Esau are setting up a mark. He says Yagar Sudata, which is a Aramaic word. There's multiple Aramaic words in the Tanakh, in Jeremiah, in Daniel, in Tehillim. So there's I know that a lot of people think the Hebrews were one homogenous culture group. Some people in the cult, I don't know if you're part of the Black Hebrew Israelite cult, but a lot of those people think that every Israelite was one particular phenotype, and that's just not true. Uh, Even amongst the tribes, inter-tribe, there were different phenotypes. So if the title physical description of the Hebrews is too vague, we could narrow it down. But I would like to do it on the phenotype, something within skin color, because I feel like it's important, and it's almost racist to claim that Hebrews or Israelites were a certain color when archaeology, historical, linguistic analysis, so on and so forth, proves otherwise. However, we could agree that not just one people group has been subject to racism over the course of human history, and so that's. I'm not saying it as a low blow to your sect. I'm just saying there is a it's I find it racist what a lot of the things that I hear on YouTube about what they say about Edomites, quote unquote Edomites, and so on and so forth. So I would like to do it over skin tone, skin color, something of that nature. Even though, as I mentioned, we're not saved by skin color. It's Hashem looks at the heart. He looks at what's your intention is, and people can get saved whether you're Asian, African, whatever your nationality, ethnicity is. But I would like to do it on something regarding skin tone.
Mm. Okay, okay. So let me break a few things down on my end, on my side of things. So, for one, no, I am not a Black Hebrew Israelite. I am also a Messianic Hebrew, descending from Anusin, Sahelian Hebrew populations. Um, and in terms of skin tone and skin color, I'm actually quite aware, and other people are also quite aware that the Yap gang, and including myself, the Hebrew of Israel, um, do understand that Jews come in all colors. I'm going to quickly show just a quick video that's a couple of seconds. Not going to play the whole thing, but this is from Berean TV, uh, YouTube channel. As you can see, Berean TV, 16,000 subscribers. I think this particular video got 1.5K views. And this is in the early portion of his video. You can go to the 4 minute and 4 minute and 08 second marker for this part of the video. And the title of Brain TV's video is Jews Come in All Colors. It's very fascinating that we're actually having this discussion about, Jewish skin tones or the ancient Israelite skin tones. I just want y'all to hear from Berean's words when it comes to Yap gang and our belief in terms of the ancient Israelite skin tones and Jewish people's skin tones. So I'm going to mute our mics and let's hear what Berean has to say.
I'm going to get back on Dr. Henry in a minute. Jews come in all colors. Yap gang been saying that from the gate. Some folk been saying that from the gate. Yap gang, Jews come in all colors. Yap gang been saying that from the gate. Some folk been saying that from the gate. Henry in a minute. Jews come in all colors. Yap Gang been saying that from the gate. Some folk been saying that from the gate.
All right, so I played that clip twice because I wanted y'all to see and understand that when it comes to the Yap Gang, we actually understand that the ancient Israelites and Jews come in all colors, and they would have been multiple ethnicities, not just one. We understand that the ancient Israelites were a type of people that typically mixed with a lot of other ethnic groups, from Egyptians to Nubians to Canaanites to Aramaeans to various peoples of Africa, the Middle East, and the Mediterranean. So I actually have no issue with that idea of what you just said. I read the scriptures and I clearly see it. Joseph got with an Egyptian Asenath. Moses got with an Ethiopian and a Midianite. Many people of Israel got with Canaanites. I'm quite aware of that. In terms of skin tone, they're going to range in various skin tones because of the people that they're mixing with. So yeah, if you want to have that debate, we can. But from the sound of things, we might be debating. We might be having the same, sharing the same ideals. So yeah.
Yeah. So a couple points. I understand people were intermarried, but my contention is claiming that populations that got married in to Judaism or to ancient Israelite culture are the original Jews. And that's my contention. I know that Moshe married a Midianite. Who were the Midianites, though? Were they Bantus or were they Arabians? That's the contention. And does that mean that because Moses, a Levite, married into an African population that or Arabian, because that's not even scholars would debate, is Midianite Arabian? The Aramaic Peshitta, for instance, claims that the Midianites are Arabians. And then you have modern secular scholars that claim that Midianites were black Bantus. And I don't use the term derogatory either. I'm just using it to for a phenotypical expression because most people know what Bantu means. Most people know what Arabian means. The phenotypes are different. And so my point is intermarriage happened, but it wasn't commanded by God. It wasn't allowed by Akadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He. The Hebrews were not supposed to intermarry. Not that it makes someone less or more, but for the case with Dinah, if you know with Dinah, she got raped by Shechem, and you mentioned Yosef, and a lot of people don't really know too much about the history of intermarriage. It wasn't something that was popular, and that's why if you read the end of Nehemiah, he commands the mixed breeds or the hybrids, as he calls them, literally in the Hebrew, mixed breeds, the half breeds, as he calls them, to be banished, to be no longer, because it wasn't even commanded by the Hebrews in the first place. It was because they lusted after beautiful women, and we all know beautiful women come in all color, beautiful people come in all color. I'm not racist to say I've lived in Africa, I've lived in Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya. I've lived in Africa. I've been the only light-skinned person in the village, so I'm not someone who's racist. But my point with what you just mentioned is that just because the Hebrews intermarried does not mean that originally they were of a certain skin tone that you in your gangs like to claim. And I know that you said you believe Jews come in all color, but what is a Jew? Is a Jew a convert? Because then you have a hard time defending anything. I mean, that means you could go to Asia right now in Korea, go go proselytize, convert a Korean person that is of Yafet, of Japheth, that is a complete goyim, a Gentile, and say, oh, this person's now a Jew. That's, I mean, it's absurd. So that's my only point with that is that there is a specific group of peoples that were from north of the Euphrates that came down across the Euphrates. They wandered in the desert. They went down into Egypt, not up into Egypt, and they camped out in Egypt. And yes, did they intermarry? Of course. I mean, anyone who's read the Bible, like you mentioned, I agree with you. Anyone who reads the Bible knows that Hebrews intermarried, knows that Israelites intermarried. Uh, But does that mean that the original Hebrews were black because they married African women? Does that mean that certain communities like the Falasha, the Lemba, the Igbo are originally Jews because they had a male knock up a bunch of women and have babies, and then they have a 1/10 of a percentage of some ancestry from that person 1,000 years ago, and they're able to claim Jewish heritage. I mean, we have to draw the lines of what we're calling a Jew. But do Jews come in all colors? Go to Israel. You'll see Jews in all forms. You'll see Jews that look like Arabs. You'll see Jews that look like Africans, Jews that look like Europeans, Jews that look like Mongolians, you name it. My point is, what was the original phenotype of the Jews, and who is Edom? And these things we don't agree on. I'm quite clear because just I don't know about Yap Gang. I don't. It's the first time I'm even hearing that. I don't know anything about these groups. I don't keep up with this. I do scholarly work. My only point is that all of these groups seem to think that the original Jews were black, and that somehow they married into white populations, and now all the Ashkenazim, Sephardim, Mizrahim, all the Jewish populations in the world are actually not real Jews. They're convert nations that descend from matrilineal Jewish or patrilineal Jewish descent, meaning some African guy knocked up a bunch of local women and then had a bunch of hybrids, and then those people have 1/10 of a percentage, and now that they're Jewish, of referring to Jew. Like I've heard that stuff many times. So that's my contention, is that I don't believe the original Hebrews were black, and I would imagine you would say they were. And that's where our debate would lie. Not that there aren't Jews that are that are many different colors. We would agree on that. Yeah, they're Jews. You could go to Ethiopia and find Jews. Why though? Why? How did they convert to Judaism? That's the more important question. So, just a yes or no question. Do you agree? Do you believe that original Hebrews were black before intermarrying? Let's say Moshe, because his mother and father were both Levites. Let's say Moses. Was Moses a black man, a black Bantu African?
All right. So before I answer that question, let me first address some of the other things, some of the other points you said in your statement. So, first of all, you mentioned, Israelites weren't supposed to marry people outside of their nation and all this other stuff. Well, there's sort of reasons as to why it's not as just simple as they weren't supposed to marry, certain peoples. It's mostly because they weren't supposed to marry people like the Canaanites because of their practices like child sacrifice and following other gods like Molech and Baal and things of that nature. But still, at the end of the day, even though Israel perhaps wasn't supposed to marry certain nations of people, they still ended up marrying those people anyway. So it's kind of a moot point to say, oh, they weren't supposed to marry these people, because all throughout the scriptures, we literally have them marrying these people. So it's like, kind of doesn't matter what they were or weren't supposed to do back then. They did it anyways. So yeah, going to some of the other statements you said. So now dealing with the ancient Israelites, do I believe they were black, that they were all Bantu? Just to address a few things, Bantu is not the only ethnic group in Africa. There's quite a few other ethnic groups in Africa. As a matter of fact, Bantu is technically a language group, but there's various ethnicities in Africa, from Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, Hausa, Tobu, Sahrawi, Amazigh, Coptic, Ethiopians, Somalis, Eritreans. Like, there's a lot of other ethnic groups in Africa besides Bantu. And even within the Bantu, there's a bunch of different like subgroups and tribes, like Zulus and Luya people and stuff like that. So broad terminology that we're using here. But going back to to Israelites, do I think that all the Israelites were black? I would have to say no. I believe that the ancient Israelites would range in various skin tones. I can even give them to you. So I believe the Israelites would be white, tanned, light brown, medium brown, dark brown, and black. They'll basically range in the whole spectrum. So yeah.
Okay, but you, just to be clear, you did have previous views that you've released videos calling white people Edomites, non-Jews, correct? Or is this something that you've always believed? And before you answer that, because I'm not trying to put you on the spot, because this isn't a debate. I didn't sign up to debate now. I didn't know what a preliminary was, so I'm just on here kind of giving an introduction, fleshing out ideas. I've lived in Africa. I know about different people groups, the Twa. I studied the Rwandan conflict, the Rwandan genocide of the Hutu and the Tutsis. Uh, I've lived among Maasai uh, in the Masai Mara. I've lived with the Hadzabe peoples, some of the last hunter gatherers in East Africa, in North Tanzania. And like I said, I realized there are other groups within Africa, subgroups. However, the broadest people group that you can get into are the Bantu people groups. And yes, they speak a Bantu language. But my point was, a lot of what I've seen from people who claim that the first Hebrews were black, they say that they were dark-skinned Bantu-looking people, like people that you would see in South Sudan or something like that. The skin complexion, not referring to like a ethno-religious group. I'm just saying as pure phenotype here. And my only point was, if you're believing that all Hebrews are white, dark, light, black, then it defeats the point, because they were a specific people group that traveled from a specific area, and you would be pressed to find those phenotypes in the origin of the Israelite culture. And addressing your other point, it does matter what God says. Uh, so just because people harden their hearts and don't listen to God doesn't mean that's what He wanted. Does it change the fact? No, I agree with you. It doesn't change the fact that Hebrews married into other people groups and had hybrids, essentially. But does that mean that those neighboring populations were originally Hebrews? No. And so we see the command is to take a wife from your father's house in the Tanakh. That's why Abraham married. I mean, I'm not trying to get into a full debate here, but that's why there's a lot of inbreeding going on. I mean, I'll say it plainly. There's a lot of inbreeding in the Bible. If you actually study the lines, the family lines, like Abraham and Sarah, when he's told Abimelech, "This is my sister," it really was his sister. It was his half sister. It's not like he was sitting there lying and saying, "Oh, this is just." He could have told him it was his wife too, but it was his bloodline relative. There was a lot of inbreeding going on within the Bible, and so my point is that it wasn't normal. It wasn't a normal practice to marry outside of your family group. And if that's the case, then we would see a homogenous population. It's like going to some community in the bowels of Bosnia and saying, "Oh, all of these cultural people from this specific village, they range phenotypically." No, they don't. They're homogenous. You know why? Because they've been inbreeding for thousands of years, for hundreds of years. They don't have a variation in phenotype. They look similar. That's what ethnicity is. And the Hebrews were a particular ethnicity. Uh, and so that's just the disagreement that we have. I don't think, and I actually know that Hebrews didn't come in all shapes and sizes or all skin tones originally. Now, did they intermarry with populations that would create hybrids? Of course. But the disagreement that we have is Hebrews were not originally uh, 50 different shades and everything in between. They were a particular people group that are, like I said, are from north of the Euphrates. They crossed down south to the Euphrates. They went down into Egypt. They came back out into Egypt, into the land of Canaan, and they settled and they built a temple. And then they got ransacked and they intermarried with, some say Ethiopians, some say Saudi Arabians. There's not even a real agreement that Kush is in Africa in the scholarly sector. I mean, some people say it's actually in India. That's why you have the Hindu Kush mountain range, and some people say it's in Ethiopia. You know, and so and where did they come about from? Some say Solomon marrying into Sheba, if Sheba was really an Ethiopian. and so on and so forth. So I mean, the debate, long story short, the debate could just be, were the original Hebrews light skin or dark skin? Because you seem to agree that they were light skinned, but then you also want to pick both sides. You have a foot in both fields, or however the expression goes in English. You're playing both sides because it's easy for you, because you're gonna get more likes or something when you say, oh yeah, the original Hebrews were probably black, but also there were whites and they're mixed in. So you're not being specific. I'm being specific, and I'm saying no, there were no black Hebrews ever until tribes intermarried with local populations. That's even up for debate if they married into African populations. It's not a general consensus in the scholarly, in academia. Let's put it. There's no real evidence that Moses married an Ethiopian. I mean, you could go read the Keber Nagast if you've ever heard of the Keber Nagast, and you can find out a lot of Ethiopian history. And they claim that what was his name, the son of Solomon and Sheba, something Melech, I feel like the king, something king. They claim that he was the rightful heir, etc., from Solomon. But that's my point. Is we don't share the same view that Hebrews came in a varying range. I would say the darkest skin tone that you would ever find a Hebrew is like a light-skinned Arab. And even if you go to Israel or look up videos of Arabs in Israel, they're light-skinned. They're not dark, and they have straight hair. You know, their phenotype is nothing that you would consider African. And again, this whole point is not for me to say that white-skinned people are better than dark-skinned people. It's not the point. The point is to be factual and accurate, historical, and not be racist and trying to say that certain groups are Jews when really they're not Jews. They're Goyim. They're Gentiles. So I think if you want to set up a specific topic, that would probably be the best topic to say. The original Hebrew, like I don't think the original Hebrews were dark skinned at all, and you do, but you also say they were white, which I don't know how you would get that, considering they were from one population in a specific culture group and people group that had no range of what you're talking about, light to black. I mean, that wasn't even in existence where they came from. So maybe you could throw some ideas about if you agree with that. Well, I know you don't agree with it, obviously, or else we wouldn't be having this conversation. But does that topic sound fair to you? That to debate over the original Hebrews were not dark skin, and by dark skin I mean darker than let's put it. I'm trying to find a population group like Kenyans or sub-Saharan Pan-Africans, you could say, or sub-Saharan Africans. That I don't agree with.
All right, so you said a lot there, but just to rebut a little. So early on, you said, do I have videos stating that Edomites are all white people or Europeans? I don't actually, and anybody can comb through my videos. I actually don't have any videos of Edomites, period. And as for the Israelites, I have even fewer of that. I have very few videos on the Israelites themselves. Um, so no, I don't think all white people or Europeans are Edomites. As a matter of fact, if you watch my videos, I would say that European peoples would descend from Japheth or Japheth, rather than the Edomites. I think it's quite ridiculous for people to say that the Edomites, that the white man originally comes from the Edomites. I think that's quite silly. Um, so now going to the next topic. Do I believe that the Israelites had multiple skin tones? Absolutely, I do. And I have a right to believe that the Israelites can range from a white, tanned, light brown, medium brown, dark brown, and black skin tone. I have the right to believe that, and I do believe I can prove that they would have had multiple skin tones. So with that being said, I think the debate topic should possibly be something like this. Let's rearrange the title. Were the original did the original Israelites have dark skin, or maybe something on the lines of, did the ancient Israelites have dark skin? Something like that.
That sounds good to me, but maybe we could be more specific because that's a relative term. Because some people would say that, like me, when I go outside, I get dark tan, like uh, like people. White is a relative term, black is a relative term. So we need to define exactly what we're talking about. I'm talking about African heritage. Like, and you can say, oh, I don't know what that means, and you can play ignorant, but everyone knows what I'm speaking about when I'm talking about. I'm not talking about uh, Eritreans. I'm not talking about mixed populations. I'm talking about sub-Saharan African groups, because it seems to me like you're saying that some Israelites were sub-Saharan African skin tone, and that's not what I that's not that's I don't believe that. Do I believe that Ethiopians might have a sliver of ancient Israelite DNA because of intermarriage, trade routes, etc.? I mean, maybe Falasha has been proven genetically not legitimate, anyways, but that's beside the point. But we need to be specific, because did they have dark skin? What is dark skin? I mean, my skin gets dark compared to what it is if I don't go out in the sun. And I have friends that are Hispanic, and their skin's dark if they go out in the sun. But my contention is not that. My contention is Afro American, African American uh, people claim to think that because they got brought here as slaves, that they're the original Hebrews, and that Hebrews had afros, they had kinky hair, all this nonsense. And it's not just, I don't even know really too much about the App Gang. Like I said, I just heard about them. I don't know what you guys teach, but I do know that from looking at your channel, a lot of the stuff that you pull from the Emperor's New Groove, or like cartoons from Disney, and you play both sides, and you put like a red, not even a red skin tone, it's like a brown skin tone. Uh, and you just like your picture on YouTube. I mean, it's not of someone who has white skin; it's of someone who has dark skin. So you're trying to argue that Hebrews had dark skin, and dark skin in what I'm talking about is African populations. So that's what I don't. If we're gonna debate on the skin tone of Jews, what we have to define first what a Jew means and what dark means to you. Like, what? Just I would like to hear what dark skin tone means to you, because dark, like, I don't know what your ethnicity is. Obviously, I'd imagine you have some African genetics in you, or else you wouldn't be defending this position. So I don't know your family. I'm not asking you to release any of that stuff. Obviously, I respect you as a human being, and if you believe in Yeshua as a brother in the Messiah. Uh, but the point that I'm making is that to me, dark skin is African. I've lived in Africa, and that's dark skin to me. I don't think Arabs have dark skin. So if you're trying to claim that, like, I'm saying that people with tan skin like Arabs can be Israelites or have Semitic backgrounds, that's not what I'm saying. I'm simply claiming Africans. So if you just have to, I guess what I'm asking is for you to define what you consider dark skin before we agree on that topic, but it's getting closer to finalizing.
All right. Great. So let me show you this then. And I can give this like basically as a range. So I first want to ask you, would you consider, let me ask you this first. Would you consider Will Smith to be dark skinned? Is Will Smith dark skinned?
That's tough. I mean, it's a tough one, because from what I'm remembering, he's mixed somehow. He looks like he has Irish genetics in him. Like, he looks mixed to me. That's all I'm saying is Will Smith looks mixed. I'm not talking about it. Then that's my point. Okay, so I'm not trying to evade the question either, but I just want to explain myself, because communication is important. That way, we're not arguing over topics we could probably agree on. But like, do you know who Bob Marley is?
Yes.
So who was Bob Marley's father?
I believe he was a Jewish man.
Yes, I think his name was. I don't know exactly, but so is Bob Marley dark skinned to you because he's mixed? Like that's my point. Is like these. It's hard for me to say that one person's black because part of his family is African, or one person's white because his dad's white or light skinned. So, I mean, what person? I'm trying to think of a person I would consider dark. Oh, you guys just saw the picture of Will Smith. I see the comment that says I've been to the Middle East. They're darker than me. No, they're not. I mean, you obviously haven't been to the Middle East because you'll see varying skin tones. Even in Arabs, I mean, if you go look at Arab skin tones, they vary so much from intermarriage and Islamic conquest. It's not even funny. And they have light eyes. They have blue eyes. I mean, I can name multiple different culture groups that have light skin eyes or light colored eyes. That picture of Will Smith right there, does he look mixed to you or not? I mean, he looks mixed to me. It's hard for me to give a yes or no answer.
He doesn't look mixed to me. I think he could fit any African population. He could fit perfectly within Africa.
You think he could fit the Twa in Rwanda?
Yeah, he can fit. He can fit various African.
No.
But you gotta let me finish.
The Twa are 5. I don't mean to talk over you, but the Twa are 5'2".
Yeah, those are pygmies. Not. I don't think he can fit any pygmy population. No, I'm saying that he can fit. Will Smith can fit various African ethnicities.
You said all.
Pygmies,
you said all. You said he could fit any African population. I mean, there's no way, man.
Any reasonable African population. Of course, not pygmies.
So the Hutus. So he could fit as a Hutu.
He can fit as a Tobu. He can fit as a Fulani. He can fit as a Igbo. He can fit as many different populations in Africa.
But not a Hutu. I've lived amongst them. They don't look like him.
I mean, that's fine. That's besides the point. He could still fit other African populations.
Again, you just said all African populations, and I would disagree. But the point.
Did I say all or?
Yeah, you did. You said he could fit into any African population.
Yeah, any African, not all though.
So now it's a word game, huh? But no, I'd say do I think here's the most straightforward answer I could give you. And again, I'm not trying to be mean, but do I think that Israelites looked like Will Smith or had the skin color of Will Smith? No.
Okay, so right there, we can say people ranging from.
He looks Nigerian. This guy has not been to Nigeria, man. I mean, what is this guy talking about? Nigerian? This guy's Will Smith's mixed, man. Give me one day, and I'll guarantee you, I will find his background, and I will find out he's mixed. He looks mixed to me. He has a mixed skin tone, like a lot of people in the Caribbean that I've seen. They have that like mixed brown skin tone, man. He looks like maybe a great grandfather or something like that is from Ireland. I mean, I'm not, right. But yeah.
All right, so let's start right here. So we got something here. So would you say, we're looking at Will Smith? We can lock that in as this is. You don't think the Israelites will have his skin tone? That's good. We can kind of lock this in. Let me go a shade. Let me pull up another image and kind of get your
Randy Moss. Your brain. Pull up Randy Moss like that fool pulled up on the Dr. Brown debate.
All right. Is this too dark as well? Would you say the Israelites could have had these skin tones? Is this?
To me, it looks. Well, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but to me, the guy on the left looks like he's mixed again with some other population. And this is my point, in that in population genetics, if we were to take the samples of all of those people, do you really?
No, we're just talking about skin tones. We're not talking about,
But yeah, genotype is what your phenotype is fixed on. So that's why I know what you're saying, that we're talking about skin tones, but it's like talking about isolating one thing and then ignoring the rest of the bigger picture. Like the bigger picture. Well,
remember, you did start off in the conversation saying tonight that you want to have a phenotype debate. So I'm bringing up phenotypes, not genotypes. That's a whole nother thing, which
yes,
we
but
can get into. But you said
the genotype, my point is, and anyone who's learned in anthropology knows the phenotype can't be isolated from the genotype. The phenotype is how the genotype expresses itself. So me and you, like for instance, if me and you took a DNA test, me and you could probably have some shared similar genetics somewhere down the line, because we're all sons of Noah. So somewhere down the line, we could share. It doesn't mean that we're gonna look the same. It doesn't mean that you and I are gonna have the same skin tone. But to me, the guy on the left, it's a weird picture because they have some kind of light on them. The guy on the left looks a different race to me, or different ethnicity, and the girl on the right they look like almost brother and sister, and then the guy on the right and the girl on the left look like brother and sister. They look different to me, but the guy on the left, that would be about as dark as I would say that a skin tone can get, because my skin can get that dark. In fact, my skin on my arms is probably just as dark as that guy's face on the left. So yeah, I would say the guy on the left,
all right.
his
I'm gonna
skin,
show another.
huh?
I'm gonna show another. Go. You can go ahead. I'm gonna show another image because I want to lock down on this phenotype thing. So, what about this? Do you think this is too dark for the Israelites? It's too dark.
The girl on the right's mixed, man.
Hey, I'm just asking. Do you think this is too dark? It's yes or no.
The guy on the left, yes. The girl on the right, she looks like a mixed breed. That's the best way I could put it. Like it looks like her dad is white or her mom is white, and her the other parent might be Puerto Rican or might be mixed as well, African American, Afro Caribbean, Taino Indian. Who knows? But
And the
yeah, the guy on
kids,
the
what about them?
the kids, um, hmm. It's a really tough question because you're just like putting a picture at and like asking if like my skin can get just as dark as theirs, but it doesn't mean that that's
We're
how it
talking
should.
about skin tone. We're talking about how dark the
Of
Israelites
course, of
are. So it's
course,
pretty
of course.
important.
Yes, of course. But my point is, I mean, pulling up pictures of people that are living in the 21st century and like asking me, it's like an anachronism. It's like asking me like, hey, could an ancient person get this dark in the sun if they just stayed out in the sun?
Hey, man, it's a yes or no question. Which skin tone
I told you.
fits?
The guy on the left, no. And the girl on the right, she's mixed. So it's like what I mean, her skin tone looks like ancient Egyptian skin tone.
Yes or no?
I told you no. The guy on the
Okay,
right, the guy on the left, no.
the woman's a no.
The woman, mm, I would consider her light skin.
Yes or no?
Drop the attitude.
No, bro, you're on my channel. Yes or no? Because you're dancing right now. Is
I'm not
yes, her
dancing.
skin
I
tone can
gave you
fit
a
the Israelite?
specific answer. You said the guy is too dark. The girl
I
looks
already get
mixed.
that. The guy's a no. I'm not talking about the guy. You said no 3 times. I get that. I'm saying the woman. Is she a yes? Her skin tone can fit the Israelites, or a no? Simple yes or no.
I would say yes. Her skin tone could because she's mixed.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Now, the last one is the kids. The
No.
kids,
No.
no. Okay, that's
I
what I'm
told
looking
I
for.
told you that.
Yes or no? Thank you. That's all I'm looking for. Here's the last image I'm going to give you. So, which skin tones fit the Israelites and which skin tones don't fit the Israelites?
That's not the topic that we're talking about. We're talking about
It's a phenotype topic. I want to figure out in your mind what's too dark and what's too light so we can kind of gauge on the topic of the debate.
okay, yes, but you're missing the point. What I'm saying is because you're pulling up mixed populations and you're asking me to say, is this too dark? They're mixed. What
Oh,
I'm
no,
saying
no,
is
I'm pulling up African Americans because you said African Americans,
those people are
they
mixed that you
can't.
pulled up, man. Those people
Yeah,
are
but
like
African Americans are mixed by default, like they're all mixed. So that's what I'm saying. You said that African Americans, their skin tones don't fit the Israelites and things of that nature. I'm trying to
well, what
figure
is
out
an
and gauge.
African American? What's an African? This is my point, is that the girl that you just showed me on that last picture, would you consider her African?
Would I
Just
consider her African?
yes,
Well, it depends
because
on
that's
her.
what an African. Just to clarify, an African American is someone that has descent in Africa and usually refers to people brought over as slaves. So my question is, because someone has a great great grandpa who is African, does that make them African American? And hear me out. Because someone has a European, that's a great, like, if you may have a European great 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 grandfather, does that make you European? I mean, this is the
Well, it kind of depends because there's a cultural element, there's a genetic element, so it kind
exactly,
of
that's
really
my point.
depends. But I'm keeping it very very simple though. We're not going down these deep philosophical questions of the African American. I'm asking you the skin tone. Which skin tones fit the ancient Israelites to you, or ancient Middle Eastern populations to you? You can just say, Grandpa, no. Father, yes. Mother, yes. Grandmother, no.
None of
Daughter,
those.
no.
None of those.
Like
The ch-
go
the
go
child
through.
the child on the right and the girl, because they it looks like their mom is mixed and some descent of lighter skinned populations came out. If I'm seeing the picture correctly, it's a grandpa, it's a dad, it's a mom, it's a grandmother, and then the mom and the dad have their two children, and the two children look like they take after their grandmother, or I mean, sorry, their mother, who their mother looks light skinned and looks like she has European descent in her. That's my point. Is it's not so simple. It's like looking at cattle that's a hybrid and saying what species does this look like? There's multiple, and I'm not saying, I didn't mean to. It's not to say that I'm saying these are cattle. I'm saying, like, it's like looking at a goat that has had sex with another breed of goat and saying, does this look like a Nubian or does it look
All
like a
right, all right.
Lamasha?
So let's get
Pull
back
up
on.
African populations,
So
man. Why are you
no,
pulling up African American? Pull up, because this is my point. You claim that Israelites come from all people groups.
I'm going somewhere with this. So I'm going
Okay,
somewhere
okay.
with this. Let's
I'll
just
hear you out.
slow down. Let's slow down. So the mother, I'm just want to point right here. You can see my mouse. The mother, her skin tone, the daughter's skin tone, and the son's skin tone. Their skin tones can fit the
No,
Israelites.
the children only.
The children only. Okay. So I
And
just
that's
want to kind
that's
of
pushing it. I mean, I'm looking at his arms more or less. I'm looking at the young kid's arms and her hands.
okay. So I just want to go back through everything that we've kind of looked at. So when it comes to this image, you're saying that the mother has her skin tone can fit the Israelites. And then when it comes to hold on. Then when it comes to Will Smith, his skin tone doesn't fit the Israelites. But when it comes to get the next image, we were actually just on this image, you're saying that the kids' skin tones can fit the Israelites. So here's what I got for you. Here's what we can gauge. And we'll do it like this. So basically, what you're saying is from her skin tone is the closest that you'll say is the Israelites, but his skin tone is a no. So I will debate from this guy's skin tone on up. Or these children's skin, this guy's skin tone, these children's skin tone on up. Everything up
So
from there.
everyone that's darker than him,
Yeah, basically.
and hair texture as well, because that's obviously a phenotype. Is skin tone is all encompassing. Hair
Well,
texture. We're talking about cranial shape. We're talking about everything that has to do with the phenotype. Because my original proposition, or my original what would I call it in English? My original suggestion to you was that we do it on the physical description of the Hebrews. So skin tone, yeah, it's important, but it also encompasses different things. Like, if you have darker skin, the darker your skin gets, the more kinky your hair gets. That's those two. The darker your skin gets, the difference in your anatomical structure of your
I mean
cranium.
that's not really true, but okay.
It is, though. It
Anyways,
is. I mean,
yeah,
you can't name a
it's
population that you can't
it's
name a
actually
population that
it's,
defies that. And I'm
I
not
can.
asking you to, because it's not a
I,
debate.
I
But
I mean I can. What you said is definitely not true, but anyways, In terms of
we'll save that for the debate, but keep that in mind because I actually have a degree in anthropology. I've studied this, man. You're
that's
looking
great, but you're still wrong on that point. But anyways,
not at all, not at all.
so
But we'll move on since this is a quote unquote preliminary.
yeah, so anyways, in terms of the Israelites' hair texture, I think they would range in various hair textures from straight, curly, and woolly. Like it will be a wide spectrum, just like I believe in the skin tone. Like I said, I believe the Israelites can range in all the different skin tones: white, tanned,
The
light brown,
original
medium
Israelites. We're
brown,
not.
black.
Are you talking?
Yeah, I'm saying the original Israelites as well. I believe they can be white, tanned, light
Just to
brown, dark brown.
clarify, I'm not trying to cut you off, but just to clarify, so I understand what you're talking about. You're talking about the original Israelites that came from north of the Euphrates. You think they were black with curly hair?
The Israelites didn't
Yeah, just a
come
yes
from
or
the
no. Were
northern
they black with?
Euphrates.
I'm gonna play you like you played me. Were they black with curly hair north of the
Well,
Euphrates?
the thing is that's an anachronistic question. The Israelites didn't come from the northern Euphrates. They didn't come from there.
They did, they did, and
No, they
glad.
didn't.
You should be glad this isn't a debate because you would get proven wrong right now with Tanakh because I have verses that prove that they came from north of the Euphrates.
Mm, no, all right. So here's the thing. I can give you this real quick. We can say that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
My degree,
Well,
by the way,
technically,
Ashley, is in anthropology from an accredited institution, which is probably more than anyone in the chat has. Not that institution means anything, but no, I'm not some pseudo scholar that sits on YouTube and goes to YouTube University all day. I have papers.
we can debate on the whole light skin and hair texture, dark skin and hair texture thing as well in the future if you want. But anyways, yeah, the Israelites don't come from the northern Euphrates. Nobody will ever say that.
Yeah, they would, man, because they came from north of the Euphrates River. That's what it means, Ibrit.
No.
That's what they're called. That's why they're called Ibrit. You claim to be an Ibrit. You know what that means? It means to cross over. They're people that cross over the
Yeah,
Euphrates.
you know what ivrit means, right? Do you?
I just told you what
E-
Ibir. It comes from Ibir. Ibir means to cross, essentially to
right, but
cross.
what does the word ivrit mean in English?
In English, it can mean a lot of different things. The what I was referring to it as is
Ivrit in English means Hebrew. You said Israelite. There's multiple Hebrews. All
the
Hebrews
point.
aren't Israelites, but Israelites
Here's the
are
question.
Hebrew.
Here or not a question. Here's to clear it up. Israelites come from Jacob. So I get it. Is Jacob got his name changed for Israel? What I'm using is Israelite as a
Yeah, but even Jacob doesn't come from the northern Euphrates.
yeah. Abraham does. That's what I'm. And
Yes,
Abraham.
Abraham. That's why I said the Israelites don't come from the northern Euphrates.
They
You could
do though
say
because listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Do you come from Africa? If you're African American, you do. To say that you don't is ridiculous, man. I mean, you're just
yeah, but if
nitpicking.
somebody wanted to use that argument, they can say all people come from Africa. I mean, come on.
Not true because out of Africa theory has been disproven, and no one would agree in the Bible that people come from
All right.
Africa
So
because
where do you say that the ark rested after the flood? In
uh
Africa or in Eurasia?
never in Africa. No one would. No
All
one would.
right. So
No.
then I can say that I'm Eurasian because it rested
Of
in
course,
Asia.
yeah, and I would agree with you on there. I would agree that if you go far enough back, like that's what I said earlier, man. We're all sons of Noah. Me and you, if you go far enough back, we're on the same boat together.
Yeah, but still, it's an anachronistic statement to say that the Israelites come from the upper Euphrates.
No, because it's
That's
not because
yeah.
that's where their paternal and maternal stock come from. That's my. I wasn't saying this is my point. I hear what you're saying, but hear me out because I'm not saying that Jacob was from north of the Euphrates. Meaning,
Yeah,
I'm not saying Jacob was born north of the
yeah, he wasn't.
Euphrates. That's not what I'm saying though, and that's what you're claiming that I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Well, the
Jacob.
Israelites weren't born in the northern Euphrates either, so it's like,
The
so what are you?
Israelites are from the north of the Euphrates, meaning that
Mm,
if you go
there's
far enough back in their population, they come from north of the Euphrates. I mean, how hard is this, dude? I don't know what you're not grasping. Well, again, ask yourself the question: are you African? If you say no, then you would claim that you would disagree with yourself. I
no
mean,
the all right. We're about to go back on this main subject, but the correct way of saying it is that Abraham comes from the northern Euphrates, but not
and who came forth
Isaac
from
and
Abraham?
Jacob.
Who was Abraham's son? that was promised?
Yeah, but the Israelites don't come
Just
until
answer it,
way
man.
later in
Who
history.
was Abraham's son that was promised?
Isaac, who's not
Okay, and
an
who
Israelite.
was
Isaac's
Isaac's
not an
son?
Israelite.
Who was Isaac's son that was promised?
Jacob, and he's not an Israelite either. What are you talking
His
about?
name got changed to Israel.
Yes, but he's not an Israelite. There's a difference.
The point is, what I'm saying is I'm working forward backwards, and you're working backwards forwards. What I'm saying is
you're being anachronistic, but okay.
it's
Going back
it's
to
not
this,
anachronistic, because what I'm saying is, like, it's just like if you were to say did I disagree with you when you said that you were Eurasian? I didn't, because I understand what you mean. If you told me that I'm Eurasian and the ark rested in Turkey, like most people would claim, then I would say, yeah, you're right. You are, if you go far enough back. But the thing is, I'm not saying Israelites came themselves, like the 12 tribes. That I'm not saying that they came from north of the Euphrates. I'm
then don't
saying
say it, because that's what you said. You said the Israelites
no,
are
no,
from the
no.
northern Euphrates.
Israelites, meaning the people of Israel, meaning the people of Jacob, meaning the people of Isaac, meaning the people of Abraham. That's what I'm saying. Meaning the people of
Then
Terah.
next time say it that way. Don't say the Israelites. That's a broad general statement.
You know what I mean when I'm saying Israelites. What was I supposed to say? Abrahamites? I mean, the descendants of Abraham are Israelites.
No, you can say Abraham came from the northern Euphrates, but not the Israelites.
And Israelites came from Abraham. It's a simple.
The Israelites are a
Comparison.
mixed population of people with a bunch of different ethnic groups in them. So all of them don't come from the northern Euphrates.
Israelites themselves, because where does your tribe get tracked from?
Bro, even when it comes, even if you want to go,
Where does your tribe get tracked from?
that goes from the father.
Okay, so where did Isaac come from, and where did Abraham come from? It's what you're doing is nitpicking, and I'm just saying no. What I'm saying is Abraham came from north of the Euphrates. That means that Israelites would have the same DNA as people north of the Euphrates. I'm not saying, and this is, it's just a semantic argument, and you're not hearing me out because you're trying to have an I gotcha moment where you're trying to say I committed an anachronism, when I'm admitting that I'm not saying Israelites are from themselves. Like Jacob didn't have Leah, Zilpah, Bilhah, and Rachel have actions with him, and then they march across the Euphrates. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying their ancestors come from north of the Euphrates, just like my ancestors come from areas of the world that I'm not attached to now, just like yours do. Just like we both
How
agree.
about this? We can have a debate. That can be another debate topic in the future. Where do the Israelites come from? Because this is going on too long. But no, the Israelites don't come from the northern Euphrates. We can have that debate. Just like we can have the debate on dark skin and hair texture, because dark skin people can have multiple hair textures besides woolly. That's ridiculous. But anyways,
Not true. If you're talking about African populations, it's not even factual at all. If you're talking
yeah,
about if you're talking about
true.
Melanesian people, like Melanesian, Polynesian, and gonna try to pull that fallacy, those are from Japhet.
So right there, you have to admit that there are dark skinned people with
again, it depends on what you're identifying as dark skinned. Because if you would have let me finish, I would have said those.
No,
come
you
from
actually did finish your statement earlier.
No. I
You was
didn't,
general.
because I
You
was about
said
to
dark
say.
skin.
I was about to say, if you wouldn't have cut me off, I was
You know,
about to
anybody can
say.
watch the replay, right? I mean, you're claiming all this, but
No, dude, no. Listen, because you need to listen to what I'm saying, because it's turning into like a fifth grade battle where you're trying to one up me. That's not, you're not trying to hear me out.
I mean, I
What I
guess I
was
already
saying
did,
is
but
that
okay.
what I was saying is that dark skin is up for what is dark skin to you? I asked you that question, and then you pulled up pictures of Will Smith and all these random pictures. Dark skin is not to you what it is to me, it seems like. And further, Yafet is where the Asian populations come from. And this is well understood to real scholars. So my point is, Native Americans, do they have dark skin? Some would say yes, some would say no, but they have straight hair. Okay, so how? Because they're from a different population group than Africans who have dark
You didn't
skin.
say all that, but okay, go ahead and
No.
add
I
to it.
wasn't. I know I didn't say that because I was going to that. I mean, that was my
No,
point.
no, you weren't. I can actually go back and play exactly what you said, and you just
Go
said
do it.
dark
Go do
skin
it. Once we finish this, go replay it and listen
All
to how
right,
you sound, man.
I'll replay it, but like I said, you just said that dark skinned people, that phenotype is connected to skin tone and hair textures, and that dark skinned people have woolly
Exactly.
hair and they can't have straight hair, and you just left it like that. You didn't get into specifics like African populations and
And
Melanesians and stuff
exactly,
like
this
that.
is my point.
But
Dark skin
but
to you
dark
would be
skin
something dark.
populations can have straight hair, curly hair, any hair texture. Heck,
Not
dark skin
true. And
populations.
dark
Wait, you
skin
said
to
say it again. Dark skin populations. You said it's not true that they can't have any type of hair texture.
no, because my point is that dark skin to you,
Exactly.
like I just said, is not dark skin to me. Like I'm talking about African populations here. I'm not talking about, this is what I brought up about Melanesians and
Yes, I can
Polynesians.
prove African populations have various hair textures as well. I can prove that easily.
No,
That
you
are dark
can't.
skin.
You
I
can't.
can. What?
Unless they're
Wait, what?
mixed, no, you can't. And that's my point, is
I
that
can, but okay, go ahead.
there are specific phenotypes that are associated with
What did
specific
you
area
learn?
groups or people groups. Everyone knows that in anthropology. Any real physical anthropologist worth
Bro,
their
I can
brains.
prove sub-Saharan African populations that are black have multiple hair textures. The
You
fact
can't.
that you don't know
You
this is
can't,
hilarious.
dude. You laughing like that and acting like you have a one up from some YouTube university is almost.
No, I actually have a bachelor's in science, so no.
So what subject?
I should be asking you that since you don't know that sub-Saharan African
I told
populations
you
have.
already, anthropology with an emphasis in biblical archaeology. So what subject do you have a degree in?
Oh, wait, we can get into that
It would just answer
during
it.
the
Just
debate.
answer it. Stop tap dancing. What subject do you have a degree in?
No, I'm not. I don't even know if I should answer that question, considering that you don't even know about like simple
Yeah,
things like hair
exactly. So you're
textures.
running away because you know that you're not qualified to talk on this and you haven't had real scholarly training in this. The research you've done is online. You've never been in a classroom and had someone really
It's
teach
funny
you stuff.
that you say that because
What is your
all I
degree in?
do
Just
on YouTube,
it's an easy question.
all,
Stop
all I
tap
do on
dancing.
YouTube is actually read scientific papers. So
What
it's
is your
not like I'm
degree in,
just
brother?
watching other people's
What's your
videos. I'm
you
actually
have a
reading
you have a
peer-reviewed papers.
bachelor's in what? You have a bachelor's in what?
I said a bachelor's of science, and I'm
In
about to get my
what?
master's of science soon.
In what though?
I should be asking you that question.
I already told you. So why are you not telling me? What do you have to hide? Are you scared or running or tap dancing? What's the deal here?
No, I'm just wondering. I'm just
No, I'm
wondering.
wondering. I'm asking you, what is your degree in?
I'm
Since you
still
say you
thinking
have a
about the
bachelor's.
sub-Saharan African thing.
You have a bachelor's in what? What is your degree in?
I just said a bachelor's of science. What are you talking about?
In what? That's the
Oh, and
bachelor's
what?
of science is not it's not
Yeah,
specific.
yeah, I know. Ugh.
Okay, in what subject? Or are we gonna move on because you're scared to answer the question?
No, I'm trying to actually multitask here because I'm writing down the different debate topics we actually could do.
So you won't tell me what your degree is in, or
No.
you will tell me what your degree is in. It's pretty simple, and you're not being honest. I don't trust people who are not honest. This is the point. Like you're not being. We're a human to human conversation, and you're acting like a fifth grader. What is your degree in? It's simple.
Hold on. Let me finish write down these different debate topics we can have.
Okay.
So far I got like 4 different debate topics.
All right.
Dang, I almost want to debate all of this, but I don't think we'll be able to do that.
That'd be a two-day debate.
But after the first debate, you might end up running. I don't know.
Yeah, says the guy who's scared to give me what his degree is in. It's almost laughable at this point. You're acting like a prepubescent teen, man. I'm asking you straightforward, what is your degree in? Because you're claiming to have a bachelor's and you can't answer it. That's what a liar does, or a teenager.
No, I can answer it. I can also choose not to. I mean, it's a free country.
Why would you not answer it? That's my question. Because you're a liar, or because you're scared, or because what's the deal here?
No, I'm not a liar, but I do want to get
anyone watching this can tell you're being sketchy right now if they're actually honest with themselves, man. You're being sketchy. You're claiming that you should be asking me what my degree is in. I told you I have a degree in anthropology with emphasis in biblical archaeology, and you're saying you have a bachelor's, but you won't answer what topic it is in. That's sketchy. You're being weird. I don't see how you don't see that. It's a simple question. You can say, I have a degree in fill in the blank. Why are you not doing that? You're being weird. Point blank.
Because I don't have to. That's why, bro. I actually plan on making a post on my degree. Actually, that's partly why I'm waiting. But because some stuff I kind of actually wait so I can actually show all the people. So I want to wait till I make my actual post on that with my degree and everything. But
So you haven't graduated?
no, I have graduated. I'm going to make a post. I want to like post it on my
What
social
school
media.
did you graduate from?
I graduated from A&M University.
Nice.
But anyways, let's see. So going back to the subject at hand,
It's still weird though.
we
It's still
actually
weird. I'm not trying to interrupt, but I just want to add to the audience. It's weird that this guy's not giving me his degree. It's very simple. It's a human conversation, one on one. He's withholding information. That's sketchy. It's suspect. But he's claiming that he's going to do it for some post, like he has some cult following or something that's going to donate money to him because he has a degree. But go ahead.
Ooh, spooky. You might be onto me. I don't know. Um. Anyways, so uh, enough with the conspiracy theories. So let's get to the subject.
Science isn't a topic, Kazar, and I don't know why you're trying to claim Kazar. You know what I mean? It's like, what in the world?
Don't focus on the chat. Focus on me. You're talking to me.
You're
not the
focusing on the
chat.
chat. You're pinning it up there, bro. So if you don't want me to focus on it, why are you pinning it up there?
Because this is my YouTube channel. I can do what I want.
So you can boss me around and tell me to not focus on the chat, but you can pin
You
chats.
are a guest on the show. All
exactly.
Right? Keep that in
Exactly.
mind.
So why are you pinning comments
instead of
against
the
me?
chat? We're having a conversation. Don't be focused on the chat. Let me handle the YouTube stuff. You're the guest. So
then treat your guests with respect, brother. That's all I'm asking. Treat people with respect.
I mean, technically, you haven't been treating me with the most respect, but I'm not complaining.
I told you, if you are a believer in Yeshua, you're a brother to me. And if you are, a good person,
let's get back to the subject at hand, my guy. Let's get back to the subject at hand. We're going off on the whole tangent here. So you're saying that from this skin tone of this lady, this is good enough, but this skin tone is too dark. So of the man and the children. So how about this? I want to figure out a way we can kind of combine these four different things we've talked about, because I don't want to have to set up four different debates in the future. I want to like try to combine this. So how about this? Let's say that our Middle Eastern populations dark skinned, and our Middle Eastern populations dark skinned, and we'll use these people as a reference.
But that's just no. I'm not agreeing to that, because what is a Middle Eastern population to you? That like there's
that's gonna include, let's say, Arabs, the Israelites, things of that nature, just different, because we talked about a lot, and so I'm trying to figure out.
I'm not agreeing to that though, because here's the reason why. It's because Middle Eastern has so many different connotations. It's an umbrella term. Like, what are you talking about? Middle Eastern people. There's so many different phenotypes.
I just now named you some. I said Arabs.
Arabs are that's not one people group. I hope you know that there's not one phenotype for an Arab. Like, there's so many different I mean,
so would you say that there are Arabs that are black skinned then? Yes.
There are Muslims that are black skinned for sure.
I said yes. Arabs.
No.
Well, that's some. There we go. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
In what fashion?
I said, let's have a debate on Middle Eastern populations. I said Arabs. You said Arabs can't be black skinned.
We're not talking about Arabs here, though. We're talking about
Israelites. I'm talking about Middle Eastern population.
Just to clarify, just to clarify, I want to talk about the original Israelites' phenotypical expression, and that has to do with genotype as well. And my point is that they're not looking like sub-Saharan Africans. That's what I want to debate on. I mean, I don't know where these pictures are coming from. You're trying to put me in these weird situations saying, is this person dark enough? Look up sub-Saharan African. Just type
because
in.
I actually want, because remember, I believe that the Israelites had all types of skin tones, multiple skin tones,
Of
the
course, yeah, I
original
remember you saying
Israelites.
that.
So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm trying to gauge on the end point for me, because I would agree that there will be light skinned and tanned and stuff. And I
How
would say
about
that there
white?
will
How
also,
about white? Not just light skin. How about white European-looking Israelites?
I already said that. I said there will be white, tanned, light brown, dark brown, medium brown, and black. I said that at least 3 times on this show. Anybody can find it and clip it. Um, so that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to gauge where your stopping point is, because I don't have a stopping point, but I'm trying to figure out where your stopping point is. And your stopping point is this man's and these two kids' skin tones.
No, this is the point that you're trying to say that every single person in ancient Israel has to fit into what these people in the 21st century look like.
No, I'm talking about
This is
skin
again my
tone.
point. This
These
is my
skin
here.
tones existed thousands of
Just hear
years
me
ago.
out. Just
You
hear
know
me
that.
out. Hear me out, and then I'll give you the floor because I don't like going back and forth and talking over each other. But this is what I'm talking about. If you would consider let's just put for hypothetical, and I'll give you the benefit that I'll just say that there's a Hebrew person. This is all hypothetical. Obviously, I don't believe it. There's a Hebrew guy who's black, a Bantu, from Bantu peoples in Africa, Pan African, and he marries a light skinned Edomite, a white girl. Is that guy? Are those children Israelites? I mean that's where the debate lies. Like for me, what I'm saying is I agree with you. Those children have Israelite DNA, but that doesn't mean the original Israelites were that skin tone. I hope you can follow because that's what I'm saying. The ancient Israelites were a homogenous people group because they were inbreds, quite literally. I mean, I'm not trying to be like downplay the Bible, but they were inbreds. They didn't marry outside their population until political conquest and things came later, and sojourning in Mitzrayim, Egypt, and so on and so forth. So what I'm saying is before all of those things, what did the ancient Israelites look like? And you're claiming that there could be an ancient Israelite, and by Israelite I mean of the stock of Israel. So that precedes, we're not getting the debate of the Northern Euphrates thing. I'm saying Israelite, Hebrew, the terms can be used interchangeably for sake of conversation, just like people say Jews. Like I said in the beginning, if you can go clip the video, I said in the beginning, Jews today are not all from the tribe of Judah. It's anachronism. Just because I say, oh, this guy's Jewish, it doesn't mean he's from the tribe of Judah. It means he's related to the people in the biblical narrative. In the same token, I'm saying these people that come from north of the Euphrates that ended up being Israelites, you're saying they had dark skin like Bantu speaking Africans. And I'm saying no. That's the disagreement here. Nothing else, because people can intermarry, but it doesn't mean they were the originals. That's the whole disagreement that we're having. I'm saying that just because this Ethiopian person with brown skin comes up and says, "Oh, I'm Jewish," it doesn't mean that the original Jews were tan or brown or white or whatever. You can fill in the blank from anyone's perspective, because we're looking at these things from modern, points, much in the same. You're telling me to look at this picture, and you're telling me, does this guy fit what you would identify as an Israelite? Or originally, no, he doesn't look like an Israelite. None of them do, because they're 21st century populations. In skin tone, she, like I already mentioned, she looks like something like ancient Egyptians would look. That's about as clear as I can get it. I'm not it's getting tangential because there's a disagreement in semantics. I'm claiming that original Israelites had a specific homogeneous look, skin tone. They were from a specific group of people, and you're saying no, they varied. They had black skin. So the topic could be literally, did ancient Israelites have black skin? That's the topic, because we all know what black means. I mean, unless you're
No,
going to play a word game and try to get around it.
Like I
Black.
said, I believe they have multiple skin tones, so I can just say black skin. I don't have that position.
Well,
I
no, no.
can't just say that it
Yeah,
was
I
solely black
understand.
skin. That's
I,
not my
I,
view.
I wasn't saying that you think. I'm not saying that you think they were only black skinned. I'm saying that you think they were black skinned. Meaning that you agree that there were light skin, tan, everything in between. But you also say that black people were part of the original Israelite culture. And by ancient Israelite culture, I mean north of the Euphrates as well. Not just after Jacob got his name changed to Israel and they had 12 children and they started committing fornication and so on and so forth. And I'm talking about before. And that's my point is,
All right, so how far back are we talking then? Give me a date.
the date. No, this is my point. The original.
Oh my goodness.
It's not that simple because I can't say a for sure date and then be like, oh, this is the date that
You're
Abraham
not giving me
crossed.
specifics for anything.
I have, and again, you're acting like a child, trying to act like I'm not giving you specifics when I'm giving you very specific things, and you're trying to paint a broad brush.
No,
I'm
trying to
specific,
get.
and you're
I'm
not.
actually trying to get to the specifics. The reason why I brought
This
up
is the
these people.
specifics. Ancient Israelites did not have black skin. You're not being specific. You're trying to say ancient Israelites had all skin tones. What do you not get about me being specific and you not being specific? You're trying to include all people groups in ancient Israelites. That's not the truth.
I don't think you understand the difference between skin tone and people groups. There can be people groups who have varying skin tones. This is simple stuff, bro.
Man, it's like arguing with a child almost, because you're like a fifth grader, you know what I mean? Trying to get I got you moments and clip it and
it's not even that, bro.
It is though. You're being totally disrespectful.
But
I asked you what your degree was, you won't
how am
answer.
I
You're
being
pinning comments.
disrespectful?
You're pinning comments and acting like you're some bully thug. Pinning comments, you know what I mean, and trying to, tell me to do this. Be respectful. You're my guest. This is the point.
Why are you getting offended by things that I'm not even like? What's going on here?
You're not pinning comments. You're not running away when I ask you a simple question. What's your degree in? I mean, you're not treating me with respect.
You
and want me to bow down, man. It's the same thing when I asked you to reschedule the time because I'm busy. I have stuff to do, and you're saying, "Oh no, do this, do this."
You remind me a lot of a guy named Danoy. Are you Danoy? You remind me of him a lot. Are you his roommate or whatever? You sound like him too a little bit. Now that I've been thinking about
this is ridiculous that you're trying to tell me I'm some guy that I don't even know who you're talking about.
Hey, I asked the question. It's yes or no.
It's a no. I mean, why would you assume that I'm some guy that
I was mostly making a joke. I wasn't like serious. Anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand and stop all this, feeling bad for ourselves or for yourself really. But
again,
anyway,
this is stop right there. That's a cheap shot. That's called an ad hominem attack. You're trying to act like I'm bent out of shape when you are not treating me with respect, bro. You would not do this face to face. I promise you would not treat me like this face to face. You would be much more humble. I promise you, face to face. And you need to start treating people with respect. If you invite them on and you want to debate with them, treat people with respect.
You know that like I haven't brought this up, but you called me like arguing with a 10-year-old and all this stuff, and I didn't get offended. Like you need to like stop getting so offended so easily. Jeez,
I'm not denying that I did that.
You can't take a joke.
You're denying these things. Like that's the point. Is you are denying these things. You're denying that. Oh,
yeah,
but you don't comments
see me getting all offended about you saying that it's like I'm talking to a 10-year-old. Jeez, bro, take a joke. That gum. All right,
it is though, and I wouldn't deny that it is like talking to a 10-year-old because you're pinning comments up that support you, disrespecting me, saying that my degree is pseudo or pseudo, and then you're telling me what to do. You're trying to control me and say, hey, don't pay attention to the comments. You don't pay attention to the comments. You know why? Because it's my channel and I get to rule over you. That's not treating people with respect, bro. You don't know how to respect people. You don't know how to be a human being to people, but you will learn when we debate.
I'm trying to set up a debate and you're just talking about stuff that don't even matter.
There's no such thing, dude. A preliminary doesn't exist. We could have done this over the phone. I told you the topic, physical description of the ancient Hebrews.
No, I wanted it to be
tap
public.
dancing. You're tap dancing because you don't have anything to debate because you're so confused on your theology you're trying
Why
to say.
are you whining? Just stop already. Jeez.
Man, it's not whining. You're just getting schooled up and down the floor. You're not liking it when you get back into a corner like a little girl. Point blank.
You do remind me of that noise though. I can't lie, bro. Anyways, because Dano used to say that a lot. Oh, you little girl. But anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand. So dealing with the Israelite, or maybe we can word the debate like this. Because you do say that the Israelites wouldn't have skin tones ranging from that. So I want to go from like this type of brown on up. Everything from this brown to darker. Something like that.
Yeah, you said that an hour ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it again so it can be on air. And
again, this is the thing. You're pinning comments like a 5-year-old would pin comments, like, and then you're telling me to not pay attention when I'm getting on your
look,
channel.
Bro. You don't have to look. I mean,
learn how to people, bro. Learn how to respect people. Why are you pinning them though? If you're trying to be respectful to me, why are you pinning comments against me?
This is my channel. I can do what I want.
Exactly. I could do what I want, and you have to listen to me. I'm your slave master. Man, this is ridiculous, dude.
Stop crying, please. Stop crying. Let's get back to the topic at hand.
Learn how to be a real man. Learn how to be a real man. That's what you should be doing instead of studying all this YouTube University.
I mean, real men
You're
don't
a joke,
cry,
man.
Real men don't really cry as much as
real
you,
men
but,
stick up.
okay.
Real men stick up for themselves. I'm not crying. Real men don't stick up for themselves. Or real men do stick up for themselves. And what you're doing is trying to bully people by sitting on your channel so you can control the narrative. It's a joke, and face to face, you would not be acting like this, bro.
What narrative is there? I don't even get what you're saying at this point. What's
you're trying to control the narrative?
What narrative? I don't even.
What? The narrative is that it's on your channel. Listen, and you'll get it. Like, listen, you might get it, Mr. Bachelor of Science, fake bachelor.
All right, go ahead. Explain the narrative. What am I trying to do? What's this conspiracy?
We got all the time in the world for you,
so go ahead.
Okay, so stop talking and let me explain.
Go ahead.
You're
go
trying
ahead.
to control.
Everything's about you. Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
Here I am trying to talk, and you're talking over me.
Go ahead. Everything's about you.
You're trying to control the. Listen, bro, stop talking. Stop talking. I don't know what you're doing. Every time I start talking, you keep on talking, bro. It's like,
just
what in the world?
Speak.
What planet do you live on?
Speak. Go ahead, bro. Everything's about you. Go ahead.
The narrative is that you're hosting. No, it's not. I told you before. If you believe in Yeshua, you're my brother. But if you treat me with respect, I will treat you with the utmost respect. And pinning comments on people and then holding them up there, telling me that my degree is sueo, that everything is against me. You're not pinning comments for anything that supports me. You're pinning comments against me.
All right, find a comment that supports you, and I'll pin it. Go ahead, find one that supports you. I'll pin it. I have no issue with that.
I don't pay attention to the chat because I'm not even on my computer right now.
If you don't pay attention to the chat, then why are you complaining about the chat?
I'm complaining about you pinning chats. What don't you get about that? You're pinning. Listen. Stop acting like a 5-year-old, bro.
I thought we want to have a debate. Now we're talking about the chat.
Don't
worry about what the chat does. The chat does what the chat wants to do.
Bro, stop talking over. Hey, listen. A conversation doesn't work. Two people are trying to talk at once. So let me talk and let me talk, and then I'll let you talk. How about that? It's point blank, just like we were doing in the beginning. My point is, when you have comments and you're posting them trying to negate my opinion or my slander, ad hominem attacks. What's the definition of an ad hominem? It's when you put something that's not true. She said my degree is sueo. Why are you sticking up for that? If that's not true, I have a real degree from an accredited institution. So why are you trying to put up comments that are not true about me? That's slander, the hominem. And you're saying that you're treating me with respect. It's ridiculous. You're not. And the narrative is that you know more than me, and that's what you're trying to safeguard. That's why you want to have everything on, lockdown, posting stuff, him about me. He doesn't know what he's talking about, this, that, the other. I mean, it's a joke. you don't see me acting like this in the beginning. I act like this when people respect, and then try to act like they're above me. You, as a human being, I'll treat you as a human being. That's that. I said my piece, and we can move on, unless you have something to say.
I'm ready to get back to the topic at hand. So for this debate, it's going to be on the skin tone of the Israelites. Like I said, I don't believe that the Israelites were solely black. They would have multiple skin tones: white, tanned, light brown, dark brown, medium brown, and black. Multiple skin tones.
We've been
So
over this, bro. We've been over
I
this.
can't
We've
take the
been we've
debate.
been over this.
Yeah, no,
over
I'm
this.
just making it clear. I'm just making it clear that I cannot take a debate that the Israelites were only black. I can't do that. That's not my position. So we have to figure
That's
out
not
a
what I'm
different
saying.
way.
That's not what I'm saying. Dude, you need to listen. Okay, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
All right. So, we have to rearrange the way we word this debate, because I'm not going to say that the Israelites were solely black. So were the ancient Israelites dark skinned? Would be like, or maybe, how about this? Were the ancient Israelites? This is weird because I believe that they're all skin tones.
It's weird. But this is the thing. It's weird. It's only weird because you're making it weird. I told you what the topic could be, and you're trying to tap dance. I didn't say that you think that
Give the topic
all
again.
Israelites...
Name it again.
Listen. Dude, this is like the 15th time I've said it, man. I commented to you 2 months ago on YouTube, and you me multiple times, bro. So don't play like you're trying to.
Well, I get a lot of
in.
comments.
You had cold feet.
So I get a lot of comments.
Yeah.
So to be
Okay.
fair,
You responded to me multiple times. Okay. Yeah. You
Well, check
responded
this
to me
out. Do
multiple
me a
times.
favor. Tell me.
Like you're